Welcome back to US Tzu Chi 360. I'm your host, Dilbar Shatterson. In an essay written by sociologist Myra Marks Fair called Class, Housework, and Happiness, Women's Work and Life Satisfaction, she cites that the specific problem with the nature of housework is that it is fragmented and repetitive, and frequently acts as the cause of isolation in the home. Rather, boredom and lack of fulfillment is the main problem for women under these circumstances. What's more, they also face barriers with language and practical work experience in coming to the United States. A particular example of that is California volunteer Tzu Chi. Today, we'll see how she grew from a student to become a volunteer of the art of flower arranging at the Tzu Chi National Headquarters in California, where she instructs classes for children and older adults. We'll see how she turned another hobby, paper folding, into a way of giving back to the Tzu Chi Foundation. So, while biding her time with students of all ages and facing numerous health problems, including a stroke earlier this year, we'll see how Tzu Chi's efforts to add some much-needed color into her life have helped impact the community around her. So let's take a look.
I think it started after the Northridge earthquake. My aunt was already involved in Tzu Chi, but she was in New York. After the earthquake, she had the chance to visit one of the Tzu Chi chapters here in Los Angeles with my aunt. At the time, I was already going to college, and my brother was already, I believe, a senior or junior in high school. My aunt kind of encouraged her to do some volunteer work, and then after she visited, she started volunteering.
我那时候在学插花，去跟一个日本老师学插花，然后插花。
At the time, I was learning floor arrangement from a Japanese teacher. Some of my classmates were wealthy housewives with too much free time, so I was very passionate in sharing these audio tapes and told them what I was doing in Tzu Chi Foundation. I told them how great it was and invited them to join. Soon, I recruited many members.
那就这样子的话，我就很快的就募一大堆的会员呐。
She actually has a lot of health problems, and so I'm actually really worried about her spending so much time, doing all these things. So when my summer school started, she was telling me that she has a lot of flower arrangement class throughout the summer, and so I asked her to tell me the dates so that I could, especially set the dates that I could try to come and help.
One thing that I really admire about her is that she has the job has to be done attitude. She believes she can take responsibility for anything. She said if nobody else is willing to do it, I will do it. Others will say, I don't want to do it. She would say, I will do it. That really put everyone at ease, so we can plan out the classes for the entire semester with her.
She's very, very devoted with anything that she does. Anything that she decides to do, she's going to put 110% into it, and do her best.
She's willing to work and is very modest. She will coordinate a lot of people to help her. She brought so many new volunteers in. I was a little mentory at the beginning. I felt I had much to learn from her. Especially, her health is not great. Her hands always hurt. Her joint issues have been there for a long time, but she never let it be an excuse for her to not walk the Tzu Chi path.
After hearing those stories of transformation and awakening, I felt that I was a blessed person and I have to give back and serve more.
你有所长，发挥你所长的话呢，你就会比较容易进。
When you use your talent, you get to learn and absorb more easily. I am glad I got to join Tzu Chi. Like myself, I didn't know how to use a computer at all. From typing each word, learning Excel and the computer, I learned everything step by step, how to host an event, how to connect, and build a strong volunteer team.
那怎样去办活动，让人家说志工可以联谊？
Something I learned from her is that if you just really put your mind to it, then you could achieve anything. Because she was a housewife, but she learned so many things after being a volunteer. She learned how to use the computer. She learned how to type in Chinese. and she learned all about the, softwares, about the Word, the Excels, and, being her age, that's technology is it's not something that comes easy for her, but she put her mind to it, and she's, able to process all the, most of the volunteer information that's given to her, and so yeah, I think that she has taught me that if you just put your mind to it, you really could achieve anything you want in life. She had a TIA earlier, a mini stroke earlier this year, and I was very grateful that I was actually right with her when it happened. With the mini stroke, we just don't know when the real stroke is going to happen, and so we tell her, try not to drive too far, try not to go, get yourself too tired, but she's still driving all over the place, trying to gather all the materials for her flower arrangement classes or her paper tool classes. Yeah, she just can't slow down. Her personality, it's just that she's just so devoted with things that she enjoys. When she sets her mind on it, she just has to put all her effort.
有一次我带一个师姐来帮我搬花，她看我在那边一直算。
There was a time that I brought another female volunteer to help move the flowers. She saw me there counting and mumbling, so she asked what I was counting. I said, I was counting how much each flower costs. She said, you're a rich housewife, but you are very good at calculating.
跳卡，做少奶奶呀。但是就是。
I said, being a rich wife doesn't mean I had to sit at home and do nothing. Other volunteers told me, Tzu Chi, you are sick now. Why are you still volunteering? I said, well, I cannot do anything else. Volunteering can extend lives.
Thank you.
I just wanted to do something meaningful. I got hooked. I said our generation is like the roaches that can never be exterminated. Just like this.
就是这样来的。
Our teacher is the give-it-all type. If she promises to make a few art pieces for the auction, she will spend all her efforts to make them perfect. She is a perfectionist.
非常完美主义的一位很好的老师。
Our teacher is great. It's all thanks to her that we know how to make all of these.
老师才会做出这些东西来。
Without my teacher, I wouldn't be here taking this class. I'm not a very creative person. My teacher always helps us prepare the colors and everything, and I work really slow. Thankfully, she is really patient.
然后老师还好碰到这个老师超级有耐心的。
She teaches us starting from our hands, from how to cut and what we need to pay attention to. She teaches us all the key points. When there are good artwork elsewhere, she will ask the students to learn from them. She is very dedicated and hardworking. If the artwork didn't turn out right, she will take it apart and start all over again. She strives for perfection. If it is not good enough, we take it apart. We hate taking things apart. It's harder than folding it. She is extremely patient and expects us to give our best. All the students have a great sense of accomplishment after the art piece is
每个
done.
人都有这种感觉，做好一幅成品，我自己觉得，哎，我很有成就感。
Let's give a clap to thank our teacher for her hard work this year.
所以就这样子，从人文进来，从慈善
I started by helping out in humanitarian culture, charity, and then medicine and education. In medicine, I helped with some international disaster relief. From a housewife who didn't know anything, I am now able to serve in all the 4 missions and 8 footprints in Tzu Chi. I did recycling and community service. I also designed training programs for the volunteers. I think I've done almost everything.
所以我也觉得说，我几乎什么都做过了。
I always tell people, it's okay that you don't know it now. If you're willing to learn, you can do anything.
都会。我都会跟我家人说，我现在年纪有了，当然你们也为我的健康着想，希望我能够。
I told my family I'm getting old. They're concerned about my health and want me to take it easy. But I have nothing to do at home. All my kids are married, and my grandson goes to school.
虽然有孙子，可是孙子也要上学了啊。那我在家里做什么？倒不如让我出来跟人家互动，做一些有意义的事情。所以从什么不会到现在做了很多都是。
Doing volunteer work and learning is good. So I always encourage people to come out and volunteer. It's fine if you don't know anything or if you are old. As long as you are willing to serve and learn, you can use your talents and help.
可以发挥你的良能，发挥你的功。
I think after today, I really learned that how much effort and time that she spends in each one of her classes. I mean, even though most of her classes are just like today's class is like 50 minutes and other classes are maybe 2 hours, but she spends the whole week, just preparing for all these classes. Even though it's like she just has a few classes here and there during the week, but it's pretty much it became a full-time job for her that, she spends all her time, trying to prepare, trying to make things easier for her students and trying to get everything ready for her students. I would think that she wants to volunteer for the rest of her life and then devote the rest of her life in Tzu Chi. I think that's probably her dream.